Hey, Jerry, where are you right now? You need to pick up the phone or at least send me a message telling me where you are right now. I mean, don't you remember that we were supposed to introduce our families to each other today? I thought I told you that this was really important and that you can't be late to this.
Oh, wait. You mean today was the day that we were supposed to bring both our families to the same place so that they could all meet each other for the first time since you and I are going to be getting married now that you and I are engaged?
That's right, we even talked about all of this yesterday, didn't we? I told you that I had arranged for it to happen today around lunch. Don't you understand how important this is for us as a couple? This is when our parents are supposed to meet for the first time now that you and I are engaged to be married. I mean, both of our sets of parents are here already. We're at the French restaurant where I made the reservations that I told you about yesterday, too.
Oh, I see. Well, shoot, I really am so sorry about this, Lisa. But I'm afraid I just won't be able to make it there today to meet everyone. So anyways, really sorry about that, but if you could tell everyone that we'll do this later, that would be great. Thanks a lot, Lisa.
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're not going to be able to make it to the reservations that I made for our parents to be able to meet for the first time? You really think this was something so easy to put together that we can just do it another time or something like that?
Look, I really don't want to have to be dealing with all of this right now, okay? I mean, I literally just woke up right now. I guess I drank more than I really thought last night, and I ended up sleeping in quite a bit. So anyways, I'm really hungover and don't need this from you right now.
Hold on a second. You were drinking last night and you drank so much that you slept in this late and are now hungover? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's right. My boss invited some people from the office out to grab a couple of drinks. So that is who I was going out to drink with last night when I ended up drinking too much. I mean, you can understand the situation that I was in when that happened, right? You can't just tell your boss that you don't want to go out drink with him, right? But anyways, my boss is also a really strong drinker, so I guess he must have been pouring me drinks, or maybe I was just trying to keep up. I really don't remember it all at this point. But anyways, all of that is to say that this is why I'm only waking up now, around noon today, hungover from drinking yesterday.
You have got to be kidding me. I really just can't believe that you would do something like this, Jerry. I mean, how could you do this to me on the day when our families were supposed to meet for the first time since you and I got engaged to be married to each other?
Well, I really don't know what else you want me to say. My head is pounding, my body is sore, and I'm just not going to be able to make it down there. And so anyways, like I said earlier in a message that you read, if you just scroll up a little bit, could you please tell everyone that we will just have to do this thing at another time when I'm feeling better and not so hungover from drinking the night before?
You really think that I can just tell that to both our parents and that they'll be fine with it? You do know that my parents had to fly across the country just to be here for this, right? And now you're telling me to tell them that they won't be able to meet my fiancé because he got too drunk last night and can't make it?
I mean, I don't know what else you would tell them. After all, it is the truth, isn't it? Besides, do you really think that your parents would want to meet me in the state that I'm in right now?
Well, the least you could do is come to the restaurant where we're all waiting for you and apologize to everyone for wasting their time today. So hurry up, wash the smell of booze off yourself, and get over here right now, Jerry.
Lisa, come on. You can't really be serious, right? Do you really want me to do something like that?
I mean, I really don't care if you come over here smelling like all the booze you drank. The least you could do is explain to our parents why you weren't able to be here at the time we all agreed to meet. You need to tell them yourself, because I am not going to cover for you when you behave like this.
Oh, come on. You know I can't do that. That would be so embarrassing. Besides, if I showed up there late and smelling like booze and apologizing for wasting everyone's time, that would make a terrible impression. You really think that I'm just going to willingly walk into a trap like that? No way.
So then you're really just not going to show up at all? You're just going to make us all wait here?
And if I am, what are you going to do about it, huh? It's not like you're just going to not marry me. But you really did have me going, asking me to go all the way over there just to apologize to our parents. Although, to get more serious, you should really know better if you're going to marry me. I can't have a wife who acts the way that you're acting today.
Excuse me? Did you really just send that message? Who do you think you are, and what do you think gives you the right to say that?
The right? What are you talking about? I have all the power here. We both know that canceling our engagement will put you in more trouble than it would me. I mean, you're already in your mid-30s, aren't you? Do you really think that anyone but me would marry you at this point? You really ought to consider yourself lucky that a young man like me wants anything to do with you at all in the first place. But I also know that you don't have any better options than me.
Do you really believe that? Please tell me that is not how you think of our relationship. That is just too much.
There you go again, thinking that you can whine and complain to me when I'm already doing you a favor by marrying you. Like I said, you need to wake up and realize where you stand with all of this. And that includes right now. So just drop all this business about missing today. If I have to hear about this again, I really will call off our engagement and nobody is ever going to want to marry you again. Got it?
Please, Jerry, don't you think that you're taking this just a little too far right now?
Oh, trust me. It's not that I don't see why I'm in the wrong for being too drunk to attend our parents' first time meeting each other. But I'm telling you that I'm just in no shape to go, and that is that. So anyways, like I have said twice now in messages that you can see if you, again, scroll up in this conversation that we have been having right now, I will have to ask you to tell our parents that we will have to do this at another time. Surely they can understand that humans forget stuff from time to time and that being a little late or missing a date here and there isn't the end of the world.
I can tell them that if you really want me to, but I don't think it's going to go the way that you think it will.
Yeah, right. I know what I'm talking about. Please don't try and question my decision making. I mean, do you really think that I'll go on to regret missing one little lunch reservation? Anyways, I'm still pretty beat, so I think I'm going to catch up on my beauty sleep right now. So anyways, tell our parents that I said hi and that I'm sorry I won't be able to make it. I have been furious about what happened ever since last night. This really is just absolutely ridiculous. I can't accept it. I refuse to.
I know, Dad, and I really am so sorry about yesterday. I know that you and Mom came all the way from Washington just to be here. And now the lunch reservations, the meetup, the talking about the wedding, it's all going to have to be put off now.
And it's all thanks to that man of yours. Just what in the world was he thinking? I mean, did he seriously think that him being hungover was an acceptable excuse for missing something like this? Did he think that that wouldn't make him look awful in our eyes? I think anyone can love whoever they want to love within reason. But I really just can't see what you see in this man if this is the way that he behaves, Lisa. Did you know that Jerry hasn't even sent us a message or called us to apologize for his last-minute cancellation at lunch yesterday?
Well, I'm sure he's just feeling really bad and can't get to his phone right now to send anything. I guess he ended up going out with his boss, who is a bit of a drinker, so I think that he was having a really long night the other day.
Hey, I get that. I've been there. But there is a time to mess around and drink, and get so hungover that you sleep half the day away. There were other times when your parents and future in-laws get together to meet for the first time. That any responsible adult would realize is really important. I didn't know if his parents raised him differently, but he can't just do whatever he wants and thinks that he can get away with it or that nobody will care. He's acting like a complete ass. And you know, I've heard the way that he talks to you too. He makes fun of you for being older all the time and teases you about not being able to find anyone else who will marry you. But what kind of way is that for a man to talk to his future wife? It's just horrible. It's completely disrespectful.
I know, Dad. I just didn't think that that's how we would act around me after he and I got engaged to each other.
But that's not it. He probably didn't even realize that we weren't just all about to go home or something. We sat through lunch waiting for him, ate our food, ordered drinks, and he still didn't have the nerve to show up or offer to pay you back with a meal.
Right. Well, originally when we made the plan, we said that we were going to be splitting the bill for all the food. But I guess since he never showed up, that's how I ended up having to pay for all of the food and drinks that we ordered while waiting for him to show up.
This really is just unacceptable. And why are you defending him? Why aren't you more upset with the fact that your fiancé has been treating you like this? I really don't know how I would react if someone who I was supposed to marry was treating me with that much disrespect. Lisa, I'm very sorry to say this, but I just don't think I can approve of you marrying a guy like this. He just isn't good for you. I know it.
It's okay, Dad. I understand what you mean. In fact, I want you to know that I agree with you. He isn't good enough for me.
What do you mean? You agree with me? You don't want to marry Jerry anymore? Is that what you're saying?
I mean that I am really grateful for you being so angry for me over this, Dad. It really means a lot that you care so much about my future and who I'm with. I know that I've kept you and Mom waiting for me to get married for a long time now. I've been so concentrated on school and work that I've hardly had time to date. And when I finally got my first boyfriend ever, Jerry, I guess I just got so wrapped up in the excitement that I really wasn't thinking in the long term at all. But he's right. An immature boy like that really shouldn't be marrying an educated career woman such as myself. Especially not if he's going to disrespect not only me, but my parents as well as his own by pulling that kind of stunt that he did yesterday.
So then, what does that mean? Are you going to call off your engagement to him or something like that?
That's right. Or at least, I think that's what I want to do. But I also know that you and Mom have been waiting a long time for me to find someone who I want to settle down with. I just don't want to let either of you down by breaking off my engagement.
Lisa, please. You don't need to worry about your mom or I and how you choose to deal with this. What your mom and I care about is seeing you happy and healthy. That's what always should come first before anything else.
Dad, do you really mean that? I don't know what to say. That's just what I needed to hear right now.
Like you said, Jerry doesn't deserve someone as smart or accomplished as you, and we all can see that. There are plenty of other better men out there for you. You are the apple of your mom and I's eye. We want to see you out there living the life that you want to live. Not for us, but for yourself. So don't worry about your engagement to this jerkwad Jerry. The right person will come. You just have to give it time.
Thank you so much, Dad. You really are amazing. And I'm so lucky to have parents like you and Mom. By the way, you are still going to be in town tomorrow, right? Because I was thinking that I could take the day off of work and you, Mom, and I could go and play tourist around the city. I just really want to apologize for the mess yesterday and also make sure I see more of you and Mom before you go back home.
That would be amazing. It's been so long since the three of us have gotten to go out and do something like a family. I think your mom would really love to have family day as well.
Well, then it's decided. I can go and meet you by the market near where you guys are staying. I'll pick you up first thing tomorrow, so just be ready around there and I'll think of places to take you both.
Hey, Lisa, are you there? You and I have to talk about something right now. Get back to me once you see these messages, okay? I was just wondering when we were going to have our parents meet each other since I had to cancel the last time that we were supposed to. I have some days this month that should be able to work for that to happen if this month is good for you.
What are you talking about? Why are you sending this to me, Jerry?
Well, I thought that we said that we were going to reschedule our parents' meeting, right? I was thinking that we could make another reservation at a nice restaurant for them, right? Of course, you can handle all the planning and stuff like that. But I would really like it if you could choose a steakhouse or something like that this time instead of a lame French place like you did for the last one.
Why would I do that if you're just going to cancel at the very last minute like you did last time? Why would I waste the energy and effort to plan something like that? Besides, I'm pretty sure that at this point our parents wouldn't care if they met at a buffet at this point.
Whoa, wait a second. Don't tell me that you're still all mad about the last time that we tried to get our families together, but I had to cancel at the very last minute. Come on, I told you that I wasn't able to go. I was in no state to go out to a fancy lunch or anything like that. Besides, if you're this mad all the time, you're just going to give yourself even more wrinkles, Granny. You really do need to learn to let things go. I would have thought that you would have learned that lesson at this point in your life.
Excuse me? Just what is that supposed to mean, huh? Did you really just send that message to me? I can't believe you would say those things to me.
I promise that if we do schedule another meetup that I won't drink the night before. Or at the very least, I promise not to be hungover for the meeting the next day. So anyways, could you please just hurry up and make some reservations somewhere for this month? I mean, if you don't do this, then I guess I should take it as a sign that you really don't want to marry me, and then we might just have to cancel this whole thing.
There you go again, trying to threaten me by saying that you'll cancel our engagement.
Oh, come on. Threat is such a strong word. I'm just letting you know of the alternatives that I have if you don't do what I say is all. I mean, you're the one who still hasn't woken up to where you stand in all of this. You don't really have any room to be complaining about anything. You're just an old lady who was lucky to have me marrying her, and you should be thankful that I've even stuck around this long. So, I really think you should rethink this attitude of yours that you have right now. I thought I already told you that if I heard about that dinner again, that I'd seriously have to reconsider this wedding. So if you're really okay breaking this off and me leaving you, then I guess you should just keep this up because that's where we're headed.
Oh, that's fine with me. We can call off the engagement. I don't really care anymore.
Wait, what? What do you mean? You don't know what you're saying. You really want to cancel our engagement?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't really think that I want to marry you anymore. I guess there's just not the spark that there once was. In fact, come to think of it, I really don't even know why it was that I wanted to marry you in the first place. But anyways, now that I don't really feel anything for you anymore, I think we should just break up.
Whoa, wait. Hold on for just one single second here. I mean, where's this coming from all of a sudden? I thought you loved me and wanted to marry me. Don't you realize how hard it's going to be to find another boyfriend after me? And that's setting aside the question of you ever finding someone else who would want to marry you.
You know, you seem awfully hung up on my age. You seem to really think that after you turn 30, your life is just all downhill and there's no hope. That's why you didn't even care that you were canceling last minute on both of our families and your fiancé. You thought that I had no other choice but to deal with your actions. But if you think that treating me that way makes me want to be married to you at all, then you are dead wrong, Jerry.
So then you're actually truthfully saying that you want to break things off with me? I don't believe this. I mean, I just don't even know what to say right now. Does the fact that you're so old and will never be able to find another person who wants to marry you not upset you? You're engaged to someone younger than you, and you're just going to walk away from that?
That's right. I am walking away from you, and there is nothing you can do about it. I wanted to marry you because I thought that we would be able to treat each other with respect. But if you're going to act like you're doing me some big favor by marrying me, then I just don't want anything to do with you.
Oh, man. You have seriously got to be kidding me right now. I can't believe that I'm being talked to this way by some old grandma right now. If this is really how you want to do this thing, then let's break up. But just know that since you're breaking off the engagement, I'm going to sue you for this. Are you ready to have to pay for acting like you're better than the young man who was ready to marry an old granny like you?
Excuse me? And just why in the world do you think that I would have to pay you anything at all, huh?
Well, it is like I just said in the last message that I sent to you. Since you are the one breaking off the engagement, you're the one liable to be sued by me. And since you're older than me, I'm sure that you make way more money than I do right now. I'm thinking of asking around $50,000.
Are you kidding me right now? You think that I am going to pay you that much money for breaking off our engagement?
Well, I'm a young man and you've been wasting my youth. Do you think that was going to be cheap? Not only that, but you were having me waste my youth on an over-the-hill granny like yourself. So you need to take responsibility for your actions and reimburse me for all the years of my life. That's why you should be lucky that I'm only asking for $50,000. But I won't take a cent less.
You really are crazy if you think that this is how our breakup is going to happen. If anything, I'll be the one suing you for that $50,000 you keep talking about. After all, I know that you've been cheating on me, and that's the real reason why I don't want to marry you anymore.
Excuse me? What did you just say? You really think that I've been having an affair behind your back? Are you serious right now?
Oh, please, don't try to lie to me or cover up your tracks now, Jerry. I've seen the truth with my own eyes. I saw you walking around town with your arm around some other woman's shoulders. In fact, the day I saw you was the day that our families were supposed to meet. You really are just the worst. Do you know that?
Wait, hold on just a second there. What do you mean you saw me? Where did you see me with this other woman?
Sorry, not that day our parents were supposed to meet, but the next day. I offered to take my parents out for a day on the town to make up for you not showing up. I drove past the hotel they were staying in and saw you and this other woman walk right in the building as if you were guests. I know it was you, and you had your arm around some young-looking thing with a big grin over your face. It was so obvious what was happening.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You really did have some nerve choosing to stay in the same hotel that my parents were. But thankfully, that meant that it was that much easier to get the photo evidence that I needed. Not only that, but after you went into the hotel and after I dropped off my parents, I went back home and went through your laptop.
Wait, what? Why on earth did you do that? What is the matter with you?
Well, I found your vacation plans for you and your little girlfriend. I also know that wasn't the first night you had stayed in that hotel. You didn't even go out drinking with your boss. It was just that you and this other woman stayed up late doing who knows what. You've been seeing her behind my back for a long, long time now, haven't you, Jerry?
Wait, no, Lisa, you got this all wrong, I swear. This really isn't what it looks like.
And just why would I listen to you after you've done nothing but put me down and make me feel like a burden? You were always using my age against me and making me feel like I had no other options in life than you. I should have known that I was being foolish, but then you had the nerve to cheat on me? Well, that was the last straw for me. I finally woke up to how you were treating me and knew that you and I were done. So anyways, keep an eye out for a letter from my lawyer. That should have all the information about the lawsuit that I'm about to serve you with.
Lisa, what is the meaning of this? Are you really going to try and sue me for $60,000? This is outrageous. What happened to the $50,000?
Well, this is the number that I came to after talking to my lawyer and my parents. In fact, my dad said that I should be suing you for 10 times the amount. He was so upset with you.
10 times that? That's just crazy talk. Come on, you can't seriously expect to get this much money from me. The most I could even pay you was something like $10,000 at the absolute maximum.
And just why do you think that I would settle for such a little sum, huh?
Oh, come on. You're already into your 30s, and you really didn't think that you were going to be cheated on? I'm sorry, but if you didn't see that coming, then that's on you. You're the one who ruined this whole thing by being so old and useless, so I really don't see why I should have to pay you at all. Like I said, you are the one that should have to pay for me calling off for our engagement, for a stupid reason like me sleeping around.
Jerry, you really do know how to run your mouth. Do you know that? But the law is quite clear, and I am well within my rights to be suing you for that amount.
Oh, come on. There's no way that the law says that some old hag can sue a younger fiancé for that much money just for sleeping around. You do realize that this is going to blow up in your face, don't you?
Are you sure about that? If you really want to negotiate how much your affair should cost you, that is going to have to be between you and the judge, I think.
Lisa, come on. You can't do this to me. Don't you realize that I still have my whole life ahead of me? I'm not some old person like you who wasted their whole life studying and working. I was too busy enjoying my youth to have the kind of funds saved up to pay the amount that you're going to be asking for. You have to see how ridiculous all this is, right?
You seem to be so obsessed with your own youth that you really don't think you can do any wrong. Do you now realize that being youthful also comes with the chances to make all kinds of mistakes through your inexperience? But just because you're young doesn't mean that you won't receive any punishments for the mistakes that you make. Besides, you're not a child, you're an adult, and you should have known better. But don't worry. Thankfully for you, you're still young. And that means that you'll have plenty of time to waste your life working to pay off all of the debt that you're going to go into to pay for these lawsuits.
Wait, no, Lisa, please. You can't do this to me. I don't have to settle down and find a real job yet. I was going to be young forever by marrying you. You were supposed to be the adult with the job and the money, and I was going to use it all to be young forever while you stayed at home like the grandma that you are. Don't you get that you ruined my life for doing this? Doesn't that upset you at all? You're just jealous because you just wasted your youth while I revel in mine. You can't do this to me.
In the end, my lawyer sent a letter explaining all of the details of my lawsuit against him for his affair while he and I were engaged. Jerry called me and begged and pleaded with me to stop this, but I told him that my old age must have made me quite stubborn because I had no intention of showing him any mercy. Jerry had to go deep into debt to afford all of the fees that he had to pay, not just to me, but to his lawyer as well. I also owned the house where Jerry and I were living, so he was forced to move out and find a place for himself to live in. Given all the debt he was in, he had no choice but to move into a tiny little apartment. He is still working the same job, but I heard he's also picked up some side gigs to work on the weekend just to make enough to get by. I would feel bad for putting Jerry in such a tough spot, but it's like I said to him, he has his whole life to be paying off his debts. As for me, I've put in my hard work, and I can't be wasting my life with foolish boys like him. Jerry may have his youth, but he's going to be spending it all paying for the mistake he made while cheating on me. Meanwhile, I've dedicated enough of my life to working and studying. I think I'm going to take the money I got from Jerry and go do things I've always wanted to try. After all, you only live once.
Thank you for